The niyyah, your intention. And we said that the niyyah is only known to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because sometimes you do something, it looks good to everyone, but inside your heart, your niyyah is not good. So, and sometimes you do something terrible by mistake and everyone thinks you're a bad person, but your intention was good. Who knows the intention? It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we will continue this line of thinking. We'll talk about being judgmental. Sometimes we jump to conclusions and we hurt people's feelings. And again, this is something we shouldn't do. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows if someone is good enough, right? At the time of the Prophet ﷺ, there were people in Medina. You will find this in Surah Tawbah. There were some people who were munafiqun, hypocrites. And the Sahaba, some of them were rich, like Uthman ibn Affan, Abdurrahman ibn Auf. So they would give liberally, they would donate generously to the Prophet ﷺ. The munafiqun were not happy. They themselves were not contributing anything, but they were judgmental. If someone who was rich was able to contribute, like Uthman radiallahu anhu, Abdurrahman ibn Auf, Abu Bakr, they had money, so they would give. The hypocrites would say, he's showing off because he's paying so much. And if there was a poor Muslim, he could only afford a few bucks to contribute, they will say, this guy is very cheap, he's not giving anything. Although they themselves were not paying anything, but they always had something to say. So sometimes we do the same thing when we say, mashallah, this guy is going to Jannah, this guy is going to Jahannam. Like, who are you to say this one is going to Jannah and this one is going to Jahannam? And you yourself are not sure if you are going to Jannah or al-iyadhu billah somewhere else, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the judge, and this is why there is a day of judgment. Yes, if you are a believer, you pray namaz, you do the good things, inshallah, Allah will give you Jannah, but you shouldn't judge other people. Sometimes things are not what they look like. So you shouldn't always judge people by their looks or the things you see. We should leave the niyyah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A couple of quick examples. There was a brother, he told a story. He said he moved to a new city and he was going to the masjid. First day. His car was not there at the mechanic, so he couldn't take his own car to the masjid, so he took his brother's car. So this brother went to the masjid, he was in the parking lot, and he lowered the window, he was about to leave, and there were a couple of brothers going to Salatul Dhuhr, and they parked next to him, and they heard loud music coming out of his car, like rap music, crazy stuff. People are jumping and screaming and saying terrible things. And this brother, mashallah, long beard, with a thobe and the miswak, is coming to the masjid and all this crazy music coming out of his car. So they started to say bad things about him. Right? He is not a good Muslim, fasiq, zindiq. They didn't even give him salam, so they went inside, they prayed, and when they were leaving, and they said, the rap music guy is going back, long beard, short dress, and everything. And eventually, they realized that the brother was deaf. And this is not his car. He borrowed his brother's car. His brother played music in his car, rap music, whatever. So the guy didn't know because he couldn't hear anything. And all this time, the music was playing in the car. He couldn't hear anything. Now they were jumping to conclusions. They were calling him bad Muslim, this, that. But when they realized that he was deaf, he couldn't hear anything, khalas, right? So we shouldn't jump to conclusions. This is a good story, right? I like this story. There was also another story. Someone was traveling from Toronto to another city. And they're using the train. So he was there with his son. His son was like 20 years old, his son. And the man was in his 50s or something. So the guy was sitting next to his dad, and they were looking outside the window of the train, when the train is traveling, and the trees and the farms and everything. So this guy, 20 years old, he would look at his dad and he said, oh, mashallah, you see dad, this is a tree right there. And his dad said, yeah, tree. Then the guy said, oh, a bird. Look, the bird, beautiful bird. And his dad said, yeah, it's a bird, yeah. Then they passed by Tim Hortons and the guy said, oh, mashallah, this is Tim Hortons. Beautiful. A man, look, there's a man right there. Yeah, mashallah. And every time his dad smiled and, said, mashallah. There were a couple of people on the other side, very judgmental. And they said, this guy is crazy. He doesn't know what a tree looks like. He doesn't know what a man looks like. He doesn't know what a duck looks like. He doesn't know what Tim Hortons looks like. It turned out that this little kid, because they went up to the father and said, why is he asking all these questions? This is crazy. This is so stupid. Why is he saying all these things? They said, foolish. Okay. So the father said, when my son was 4 years old, he had this medical condition. He lost his eyesight. He couldn't see anymore. So eventually, he was able to go through the surgery, and he gained his eyesight. He was able to see again. And this is why when he took him on the train and he saw these things, he was so excited. Oh, mashallah, a man, a tree, a bird, Tim Hortons. And the father was smiling and he said, yes, you are right. But sometimes, this is my point, we are very judgmental and we hurt people's feelings, and we should take it easy, and we treat people the way we like to be treated, and we always give people the benefit of the doubt. Give people the benefit of the doubt. If you say salam to someone and they don't give you salam back, maybe they didn't hear you. Maybe they were thinking about something else. Why do you always jump to conclusions? Oh, he didn't give me salam, he doesn't like me anymore, he hates me. No. Give them the benefit of the doubt. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the best in this life and the best in the life to come. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless you and your families. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give Jannah to the grandmother of Maryam. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Keep her in your dua. See you tomorrow inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum.